Okay. Okay. So, hi team. We are here for a BA Scrum. My name is Rahul Deshpande. I will be will be a co-trainer with Gaurav sir. I have 20 years of experience as a project manager and program manager, and I joined newly to Guru schools. So I hope that we'll go ahead with BA Scrum, and we can have a good time learning BA and Scrum. Okay, so we will start. So I will share my screen, and we can proceed with our training. So let me share 1 second.
And meanwhile, while Rahul sir is sharing his screen, anyone here for the first time joining this session, this class, from anyone? Do we have?
Hi Gaurav sir. I'm Savita. I joined the last class, but little late, halfway through. So I'm Savita. I'm joining from Columbus, Ohio. I'm totally from a non-IT background. So I'm just trying to venture into the IT through this Be Agile Scrum course, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot. As of now, I've enjoyed all the classes. I saw all the recordings, and I'm getting the hang of the syllabus and all the informations.
Awesome, Savita. Savita, your educational background?
Yeah, I have
And
my master's in engineering, power electronics. It's been a long time ago, almost 15 years back. So I was working as a lecturer in India, and after I came to US, I didn't try any job opportunities. And right now I'm working in a school as a substitute teacher. It's part-time, so I'm trying to venture into a full-time job.
awesome, Savita. Great to know about you. So welcome to Guru Schools, everyone. Please type in the chat window, welcome Savita. And yeah, so today, because my screen is, my laptop is crashed. So we have Rahul sir, so that's a good, and most of the time Rahul sir will be sharing in case I have difficulty to view. Rahul sir will be speaking as well. And yeah, before we get started, let's quickly let me remind you through this journey. So you all know that this journey is going to be how long? This is going to be 8 weeks journey, almost 2 months of for each one of you. And we have designed some ground rule to which we call it as code of honor. What do we call it as, everyone? You can unmute and speak.
Code of honor.
Exactly.
Code
So
of honor.
I don't have the map to let you go through all of them, but whatever I could remember, let me quickly share those with you. So the very first one is showing up live. Why? Because it requires you to be on time, remain punctual, and highly committed. The simple rule behind this is that as Agile is full of ceremonies, and each ceremony demand from all of you, those are future Scrum Master, to follow this. Why you need to follow this over here? Because this training itself you can consider as a project, and when you start doing it over here, it will be quite easy for you to replicate once you get placed. And there is associated universal law that says that how you do anything is how you do everything. That's number one. Number two, you are here learning. It means you are automatically becoming a student, but we don't want you to be the student. We want you to be the full stack student who does all the assignment, remain highly committed, and mm, means complete what you start. Okay, those are the trait of being a full stack student. And the third one, uh, on this journey, remember to uh, take the full responsibility of your success and your failure. Why failure? It's quite easy to take the full responsibility of success, but when it comes to failure, we hesitate. But when you do so, the failure, you may correct that, and that failure doesn't remain failure, it becomes trail to the success. So be ready to take the full responsibility of both the elements. That's the success and failure. But to do so, it really requires a concrete mindset, to which we call it as a lean mindset, that is a continuous learning mindset. More continued learner you become, you will find yourself going more positive minded. More positive minded you will become, you will find yourself going more um, you know uh, you will find yourself going more happy, and you will go more complaint free, load yourself with more gratitude, and gratitude leads to happiness. Happiness is today's new productivity that is demanded by the corporate. So that's all about mindset. But also, to have such mindset, you will start your day with the high level of receptivity. And for that very reason, I generally ask each one of you to participate in a 30 days audio training challenge. Once you start embracing that, you'll see that in each area of your life, how things are getting impacted positively, and bringing more results to you. So in case you have not yet started with the this 30 days challenge, please ask me at the end of the session for the link of this audio program, and I'll be happy to share that with you. That's number 5. And number 6 is that to be in this journey, you need to be a giver. Giving your ego away on the path of learning, that makes you more spiritually grounded, means make you more happy to embrace new learning. And as I said earlier, happiness is today's new productivity that is demanded by the corporate. So that's the reason requested to keeping ego away on the path of learning. And second, because you are here not just to learn but to earn more, and what you want to more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And if you want to earn more money, then you must start doing the charity. At least 5% or 10% of your earning you can start giving away if you are already making some money. In case not, at least have an intention of doing so. uh, and start giving away, have intention to give away 5% or 10% of your earning to the charity. um, uh, Charity means you can give away wherever you believe in, whatever causes you believe in. That could be donating to any orphanage or any old age home, or to hungry children, or in case you believe in to donate in any temple, mosque, or churches, wherever you believe in, for whatever causes. Why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And you are not here just for the survival, but for the growth. And that's the reason you must give away. And just don't give away for the sake of the growth, but also to inspire others. Last but not the least, in this journey, when we take a deep dive into deep learning, we follow the golden quadrant of learning. By now, you know what is the golden quadrant of learning. That starts with declaration with the anchor, and then take a deep dive into deep learning, and then creating notes using pen and paper after 24 hours, whatever you have learned, and then summarize this back, like you have seen so far from Nitish, and from Amit, and from Sangeeta, their summary video, how they are sharing that back, especially Sangeeta. She is just showcasing her, notes as well that has been prepared. The whole idea behind this is that you could retain whatever you have learned for a longer period, and may appear as expert into that. And that's the reason the summary with the fourth step, you are completing the golden quadrant of learning. So I would request you, so all you be ready to take a deep dive into golden quadrant of learning, and that will start with the declaration with the anchor. So anchor is going to be the body anchor, that is going to be a self high-five or the clap. At the count of 3, you will begin after me, following whatever I will say. So are you all alert and ready to follow the golden quadrant of learning with the declaration? Are you ready for the declaration, everyone? You can unmute and say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
Yes.
just you can pay attention and follow whatever I say. Rahul, so you wanted to say something in between? I heard your voice. That's the reason. Okay, awesome. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3, and clap and repeat after me. I am a quick learner.
I'm a quick learner.
What I'm going, I'm going to learn and follow.
What I'm going to learn and follow.
That is going to be super duper easy to me.
That's going to be super
duper easy to me.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. So this has been tweaked today and not as usual because I could not remember the entire statement. So let's get started and let's see over to you, Rahul sir, and we'll begin.
So we are at slide number 20. Who has done the assignments? You want to take that?
Okay. So yeah, I could see the assignment, and the assignments was done by a few of you, and yeah, I was looking for assignments in that way, and yeah, we looked for Scrum roles as well. Last time, not Scrum roles as such, but we looked at all the Scrum ceremonies. Do you all remember that last time we were going through Scrum ceremonies?
Yes.
You can unmute and say yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So today we have more thing about Scrum roles. We will look at it. So Rahul sir, over to you. You can proceed with the next screen. Yeah, this is the agenda for today. Scrum planning in detail. We will go through. Some points may find quite little bit of repetitive for you, but yet we will get into detail of it, and that's how it is going to come in front of you. Yes, Rahul sir, would you want, could you please take this?
Yeah, so this is a Scrum role recap. And so I think we have left it like that last session. Is that so?
Yeah, so we did not have this one repeated, right? This is the first time we are looking at this stage. Yeah, we haven't done, Rahul sir. So this is
even the slide before this we hadn't done.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the one then.
Yeah, so from here we are getting started. So this is the agenda, Rahul sir. So we can get from the next slide.
Next slide. Okay, so this slide. So Scrum roles and recap.
Yeah.
So the Scrum Master is the role of the Scrum Master is he removes all impediments and hindrances to achieve goals, enforce to organize Scrum ceremonies and processes, and to commit to goals and deadlines on behalf of the team. That is Scrum Master. The product owner is who conveys the vision of the stakeholders to the team, who can alter the scope, and who is responsible for the return on investment, like ROI. That is why they occupy an authoritative position in the firm. And lastly, not only with the team, but also communicates with the stakeholders about progress and problems. And about Scrum team, it does all that leads them towards their sprint goal, work with the Scrum Master to prioritize the items from the product backlog and the sprint planning. And he's not the Scrum Master, organizes them. It is self-organized, need to attend every stand-up and other ceremonies. And lastly, they have to participate in all the meetings despite their nature, and have to ensure that all the findings of the meetings are getting practically addressed in the project. So that is what the slide is. Yes, Gaurav sir.
Okay. So you see the just now Rahul sir has read about the position of Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Scrum Team as well. You have read, Rahul sir, I believe. So yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, so Scrum Master, apart from these, whatever you heard and you heard or saw in this slide, Scrum Master is a kind of a facilitator. That's where you are gonna get in. So his job or her job is to facilitate the entire ceremonies. So far, you have learned the agile principles, Scrum ceremonies, or Scrum values, and agile values as well. Do you all remember that Scrum values, agile principle? Do you have you
Yes.
all seen that in the
Yes.
past? Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
you will see, awesome. So you will see as a future Scrum Master, you are going to make sure that each and everyone from the Scrum team, you are going to follow these all things, right? So, but there are chances, few of ceremonies and few of the approaches may get ignored. But as the responsible Scrum Master, it's your responsibility to make sure that you are bringing it back and making sure that everyone is following. But apart from this, because in the Scrum, continuous delivery is our goal, and we are going to make sure that as a Scrum Master, you are ready to remove impediments, not for the just Scrum ceremonies, but for every single person as well. What do we mean by that? We mean by that that it may happen that one single person is also trying to achieve with you the sprint goal. And what is sprint, everyone, over here? What do we mean by sprint? Any idea?
The task what we have to do.
Time box,
Time box period of
periods of
4
work
weeks.
in the Scrum.
Yes, yes. So sprint over here is called as duration. That's you all are right. So sprint is a terminology used inside Scrum framework. Okay. So sprint is always fixed length. Uh, Generally get started from day one. Uh, Means any sprint of work of any sprint can be of minimum 1 day and maximum of 4 weeks. Okay, but in a moderate way. Generally, you won't find ever for a day, but you will definitely find for 2 days or sorry, 2 weeks or 4 weeks. So when we talk about 2 weeks, means how many days? Any answer? 2 weeks means how
10
many days?
days.
Yeah,
10
10
days.
without
days.
the weekends.
Yeah,
8.
without weekends. Absolutely
10
right.
days.
Bang on.
Days.
Yes, 10 days. 10 days means how many hours?
40 hours.
80
No, no,
hours.
10
80
days
hours.
means how?
82
Eh,
weeks.
80 hours.
Yes, yes, absolutely right. But when we become the part of this various ceremonies, this 80 hours or 40 hours in a week cannot be all the 40 hours so productive, because many of hours may go into discussion. The discussion could be various other ceremonies, means said ceremonies and unsaid ceremonies where you could become the part of. Say, for example, you have seen so far 4 ceremonies, starting from sprint planning, sprint review, and daily stand up, daily scrum meeting. Do you remember what is daily scrum or daily stand up meeting? How long it goes?
Yeah,
15
5
minutes.
it
minutes.
goes for
10 to
15
15
minutes.
10
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah, not more than 50 minutes. That's absolutely right. So for these all ceremonies, you know that means these are said ceremonies. And yesterday we also saw, yesterday means in last session when we were stopping the session, it was done. Mark done means done is also ceremony, but not official ceremony. Likewise, there is another ceremony to which we call it as a backlog refinement or a sprint backlog grooming ceremony. Okay, what all these grooming ceremonies and all that we are going to look at it later. But let's come back and understand about Scrum Master's role. Scrum Master's role is like removing all the impediments that you are going to speak about as a team member during your daily Scrum, and also in case there are unsaid impediments that Scrum Master is going to look at. Scrum Master is also known as servant leader. What is known as, everyone? The another name for the Scrum Master?
Servant leader.
Servant.
Servant
Yes,
leader.
that's right. So when we talk about servant leader, servant has a bigger meaning over here. Servant leader means everyone is ready to follow the part of agility and the scrum. He will make sure that he will bring the ease for each one of you. Every one of you team member will experience, because of his presence, the ceremony. So he is that powerful. All right. So is it making sense what I'm talking about? Even he will make sure that at your desk, from your desk, you need not to move away by leaving your job in search of anything. He will make sure that all the arrangements at your desk has been done, all the facility you needed, he will ensure that comes to you. Okay. So because productivity should not hamper. Okay. And that's the reason he takes charge for your ease. Even though he does not do everything by his own other than facilitation, he will ensure the things gets done because of his presence, and it does not trouble you. So is it making sense how powerful he is going to be for you, for each team member when you become the part of Scrum team?
Yeah.
Able to realize,
Yes.
realize. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. So that was all about Scrum Master. Product owner in a nutshell, you will see that is the point of contact for all the team member. Product owner is more towards the customer facing, and also he will face towards the customer team. Any problem, any difficulty, you may definitely convey to product owner. Product owner will make sure all the information that is needed to come from the sponsors or stakeholder will flow back to the team, and that's how he is going to work as a mediator between stakeholder, suppliers, vendors, and the team. That's all about product owner. And Scrum team, he will make sure the entire team, it means the Scrum team comes with, if you will keep a Scrum Master and product owner aside, whoever becomes the part of development, that is technical team or business analyst or developers, that are coders or testers or architects, everyone become the part of this Scrum team. Scrum team's role is to define the goal for the sprint and make sure mark everyone, every goal done means achieved, and you make sure you become the part of every single Scrum ceremony, and also make sure that you are attending every single daily stand up. Okay, so this is all about Scrum team. So any questions so far over here?
Technically, the product owner is the boss, correct?
There is no boss. That's the beauty of it over here, because this team is also called as cross-functional or self-organized team. Self-organized is the keyword that makes us bossless. What is the word? Which team? Not the bossless, because it's a self-organized. Yes,
Self-organized.
self-organized. So self-organizing team does not require any supervision. Why? Because when you see the Scrum values that comes with courage, ownership, and transparency, whatnot. So it means that you are ready to take ownership of any set task, and you are going to declare that, and you are going to make it done, and you represent that. Okay, so it's together the team ownership. So likewise, you can't say that product owner is just boss over here. So because you also do the shared work. Shared work means even though you are an expert in one area, but if time demands, you are not hesitant enough to step back, but you are ready to come forward and happy to help others too. So this is how it works. And product owner, you can just say that he's a kind of a he defines, he knows at the top what is coming from the customer, he knows what are the priority, and he just conveys those things to the entire team, more or less. product owner also take help of business analyst to expanding those requirements which have come from the customer. Okay, and rest of the team, because they are master, they are engineer, they will also discuss, decide, and delegate further what are the feasibility of the work. Okay, because when as a product owner, I cannot try to impose some activity on someone, because technical team may tell what are the limitation of existing system on which whether they can develop something or not. They need to hire some new technology or new resources or what, that they are happy enough and free enough to convey to product owner. And likewise, based on these input, product owner has to will have to decide the next move for to include the new resource or new technology for the delivery purpose. So this is how in a this is how they organize with each other and they bring value on the table. So remember, last time we have talked about agile ceremony and principles and values, where we looked at always people over process over tools. You all remember that, the very first one?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
People,
likewise, yes. So likewise here, people are important more than process, more than tools, and based on the input received from team, the things will follow. So this is about product owner and Scrum team. So any other question apart from this? And this was a good question. For the thanks for the asking as a confirmation that who is the boss. So
Yeah, one
anything
quick
else other
question.
than the yeah? Go
So,
ahead.
does it depend on the, the number of, people on the team for the product owner and the Scrum Master? Like, I just want to know how many product owner or the Scrum Master will be there on a team.
Okay, that's another good question. So in one team, one product owner and one Scrum Master will be there. Okay, so not more than one. Yeah, and your team size will not vary. So your team size, as long as it is contributing in a very smaller group for a very smaller module, then the team size will be in Agile 3 to 9. Sorry, in module in the Scrum module 3 to 9. But uh, in the year 2011, something got introduced that we call it as a safe. Okay, what do we call it as, everyone?
Safe.
Safe.
Safe. Safe is scaled agile framework. Okay, so it's not just agile, it's scaled agile. So there we introduced the team size from 5 to 11. So whenever you ask, you are supposed to give answer what will be the team size of any Scrum team. There you can mention that it is always 3 to 9 for the smaller group of um, uh, a smaller group of module or product. But when we embrace the scaled agile framework for the smaller group team, it can vary anywhere from 5 to 11. Is it clear? The answer is clear to all of you?
yes.
sir.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So one product owner and one Scrum Master in every team. The size will vary from 3 to 9 towards the scaled agile. 5 to 11. So that's the quick answer for it. Any other question, everyone? Okay, I'll take it
So,
as no. So, yeah,
so we forgot about the man in black here. So,
yeah.
Gaurav
So
sir.
I was just coming on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just coming on that. So far you have seen the three people, three groups standing over here. One is product owner, another is Scrum Master, another is Scrum team. But can you all guess what does it represent, the man in black or the man
Stakeholder.
in gray?
Stakeholder.
Oh my God,
That's right.
all of you are intelligent. So yes, so let's talk about it. So do we have the slide dedicated to this, sir?
Let me see.
Yeah, I think it should be. If it is not, then that's fine. We can. It should be the very next slide. the very next one below it. So it's not there.
No, it's
Okay,
not there.
it's not there. So anyways, I'll quickly talk about it. You can see in the another slide. Meanwhile, you can pause this screen share. Just to click on the pause screen share, and you can see in another downloaded PPT. If it is there, you can just bring it up. And meanwhile, I'll talk about it. Okay,
Sure,
sir?
sure.
Rahul, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So this what you see and you very well identify.
I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
recording that. Yeah, we can pause the screen share and recording will still go on, so that we won't go away from the screen, and still you can search the another slide which I was referring to. So yeah, thank you so much for bringing this up. That screen recording was stopped. So coming back to the question, that as per you, whose stake should be highest stake involved into the project? What do you think?
Stakeholder.
The client.
The product owner?
Yeah.
Product owner.
No. So the question was, as per you, what do you think? What do you think? Who is the person whose highest stake will be involved into the project? And one answer came right, and the answer was always it will be client, because client is asking all the thing. Client is sponsoring. Client is giving you money. So whose stake will be at the highest stake? See, everyone involved. Yeah, that's right. And everyone involved in the project by default becomes stakeholder, because everyone is involved in the project. Their time, energy is involved. Okay, but it's customer whose time, energy, and money is also involved. Okay, so he is the highest stake taker. He is highest stakeholder. He is most important stakeholder, because from his end, customer and sponsor both are coming. So a stakeholder's responsibility to convey all of to convey all the changes and all the responses to product owner. He is very close to product owner in case any change into decision, and in case any foresee change, in case any changes he foresees, or in case any new decision he wants to bring. His job is to quickly respond to product owner, quickly conveys those things to product owner, and also he is the person who is supposed to ask for the progress about the project, always be available for sprint review meeting, where he gets to see about how the things are progressing and give a quick feedback on whatever coming to his way, and also convey any changes to the product owner, and answer to all those questions which is coming from the team or vendors, or from business analyst, or from anyone who is part of a development team. Okay, is it clear about stakeholder? What all his responsibility when it comes to
Yes.
developing the part of a sprint? Okay, awesome. So this was all about Scrum team. So yeah. So could you find, sir? In case you could not find, we can go
No,
to the next slide.
yeah, we could not find in both the slide of both the presentation.
Okay, no problem. So I
Sure.
explained it well. So
Sure.
yeah, we can move to the another slide. And let's now start
Sir,
taking a, yeah.
sorry to
Go ahead.
bother you, disturb you. Sir,
No,
since there is
no
no
problem.
hierarchy in this Scrum methodology, so once the project is been received by by the team, so it is not a single person's responsibility to get it done, correct? So it means every person in the team should be capable enough to understand what the responsibility is, whether it is developer or anybody else. Am I right for it?
Yes,
Since there is
that's
no
right.
reporting.
There is no reporting.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. Thank you.
Yeah. So when we say there is no reporting, what makes things more transparent and visible? Who can tell? Even though there is
Means
no report.
individuals are responsible for the job.
Yeah, they are. but what makes things more visible to each other? How will I get to know that what you are doing, how on daily basis? How will I get to
Daily
know?
scrum,
By the
Sprint meetings,
the daily stand-up
Being
meeting.
Absolutely.
stand-up
stand-up
meetings.
meeting? Stand-up meeting.
Absolutely, absolutely, bang on. So these are the answer. This is the right answer. Daily Scrum makes things more visible, more transparent, and brings more faith in each other, that what exactly we are doing, how we are doing, and how we are progressing. Okay, so that's the reason daily stand up is very much important. Even though we don't find that there is no boss, but eventually what will happen, you need to understand and make sure that things are coming from product owner to you, and he presents what all the job we have got. So you have to make sure that product owner is defining the goal. Okay, so the one who defines the goal, who you need to align by it. Okay, so indirectly scrum master and product owners uh, are responsible to run the show. Okay, and in case sometime product owner is not available, business analyst has to stand up on their toes. Okay, so three key contributors: business analyst, scrum master, and product owner are there. But in JD's job description, you will find for Scrum Master as if he should be knowing some roles of business analyst. Business analyst as if he should be or she should be knowing some role of Scrum Master. So this is how these three roles are more important. Where when it comes to responsibility, because he is the responsibility distributor in a nutshell as well. So I'm not allowed enough to talk about who is the boss. But when you will ask me to pause the recording and then talk about it, then I can happily talk about.
Okay,
Okay,
we'll talk to you
so
personally, sir.
no, so it's not about that, but remember that because Agile does not allow it. Okay, Agile values does not allow it to make anyone boss. But yeah, definitely, product owner is the person, and three roles as I have talked about. Product owner is always backed by business analyst. Scrum master are always backed by business analyst, and that's the reason Scrum master who has to make sure that everything runs smooth. We brought this role of BA and Scrum together. Okay, so
I have
are
a
you
doubt.
able to understand more that
Go
how?
ahead, Gayatri.
Yeah,
Sir, I have a doubt.
yeah, go
So
ahead.
the entry role would be of a business analyst, right? And then, they advance to like a
Hmm.
product owner or a scrum master. Because you said they are backed by business analysts. So I'm just thinking that, business analyst would be the entry.
No, so I can't say like that. When you talk about the entry level, see, all three roles are different. Okay, so when I'm talking about the responsibility inside the project, then you can take this terminology as this that he is product owner and scrum master are sometime backed by, depending upon the situation. But you can't say that it can be the um, uh, predecessor or entry point. So these are all independent of it. But yeah, having such knowledge will be always helpful. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to tell. Okay,
Yeah.
just don't try to make it more dependent. Yeah, I would say.
I have one question.
Anything else, Gayatri?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Gayatri, did I answer your question? Just wanted to ask.
No, I think
Who
it's
was
some
asking?
other person who
No,
asked.
it was me, Lakshmi, who asked.
Okay, okay. So you got your answer? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just I confused like by what the business analyst does here, like because um
Okay,
like
okay,
you're always
okay.
talking
What
about scrum
business analysis?
master or the product owner, right? So I'm just wondering what
Oh,
the role of a
okay.
business.
Okay. So let me quickly give you the answer. And by the way, who is asking this question? May I know your name?
Lakshmi,
I'm not
Lakshmi,
able to see that.
Lakshmi
Lakshmi.
Nair. Yeah.
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 Okay, Lakshmi. So Lakshmi, you know that this learning track we are into is Agile Scrum BA, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
Agile Scrum BA is a combo track. So combo
Okay.
track, first we get to know about Agile Scrum, and then there will be the separate dedicated days and weeks will be there for business analysts.
Okay.
So
Okay.
dedicatedly in the last 4 weeks, we will be talking about business analyst, what its responsibility is, and
Mm.
how important and powerful business analyst, and what every single day his role would be. So till that time, you will have to not to worry about BAs. So is it okay? And
Okay.
we'll go
Sure.
ahead with
Sure.
this
So
Agile
That's great.
Scrum
by
and
doing
BA.
this
Yeah,
training, we
yeah.
can be, so by doing this training, we are eligible to apply for a BA, Scrum Master, or a product owner role, right? Like,
Absolutely, absolutely,
okay. Okay. Cool. That's what
absolutely.
my doubt
Well,
was. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you for asking. Let's go to another question. Yes, Gayatri, you can ask now.
How does the offshore onsite model work in the Scrum project?
Okay, so that's another good question. So what happens? See, before COVID, it was always encouraged that everyone will work together in one place. Okay, one place means because we give importance towards people over the processes and over the tools. Okay, and that's the reason Scrum does not involve much more, written work or something. You just solve the things then and there. Okay, just you on a tick, you go ahead and you speak with the other people, bring the solution on the table, and you are good to go ahead. So what exactly happened after COVID? It was really not possible. And in fact, whenever we used to have sprint review meeting, we used to walk down to the client space. Okay. What if client is remotely located, and what if during the COVID everyone is working remotely? So that's the time. What came, like, just I got something. Okay, I'll read it later. Something I have got on the chat, so I'll read it later. So first, let me answer this. So what exactly happened? We have to make sure that web conferencing things are there, conferencing tools are there, and remotely you are able to work and communicate with each other. And yeah, so there is not as such important that you have to always get involved into on-site and off-site. But yeah, client side is one thing, and more your inclination and responsibility comes when things will move to user acceptance testing. Okay, UAT is the one of the phase of the testing, and final stage of a testing, where mm, from client's end some users will be there, from vendors end some tester and business analysts are there, sitting and being available at the client's location directly, and making sure that your product which you have developed is working as per client requirement. Again, before COVID, what used to happen, everyone used to walk down to the client location, fly down to the client location, and used to work in their premises for the final stage, to which we call it as a UAT, or user acceptance testing. Are you getting this clarity, Gayatri, now?
Yeah,
What's your answer to question?
that's right. Yeah, but
Yeah.
and
So
one more clarification I would like to ask. So the daily scrum happens along with the offshore team, if there is an offshore team, right? But so is it like they will be done by the time we have a call in the morning, they'll be done with the work.
Yes, something like,
So
actually,
yeah,
let me come in here, Gaurav sir. So it's actually
yeah.
like what we are doing right now. So you guys are all placed all over the United States, and we are geographically placed somewhere else, but we are trying to do the training all together. So the Scrum meeting and whatever the meetings will happen like online also, from since the COVID things has happened, so everything goes online. So like that, you can imagine how things will work. Yes, Gaurav sir.
okay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you for asking this question. So what exactly happened? So this is a wonderful question. If on-site, off-site team is there, so some team are working in different time zone. They might be available, right? So not everyone will work in the same time zone. Do you all agree with that? If we have
Yes.
distributed team, yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is going to happen? So what is going to happen is that we will have dedicated, decided time that at this time, and whatever the translation of this time could be in the different time zone, we agree to come together on that time using web conferencing tool, making sure everyone is visible on the webcam. Okay, they have switched on their webcam and participating into the stand-up call. Okay, this is how the nature has to be, and this daily scrum demands about it. So the real time scenario, if I'll talk about, so Rahul sir rightly said the example, that's how we are going to follow. If I'll talk about my team, where I work, so we make sure that early morning and could be our evening. Your early morning could be our evening. Say for example, you are plugging in at 9 a.m. So some of the team member may be available, may not be available, and your 9 a.m. could be our 6:30 p.m. in the evening. Okay, at the different time zone. But we'll make sure a central time comes where even people from PST and MST will come together. So we decide, around your 12:30, that might become our 10 p.m. at night, where we can invite all the team members, switch on our web conferencing tool and our webcam, and we will talk about 10 minutes or 15 minutes on daily stand-up call, and then we disperse. So this is how we work with the people distributed remotely at the different time zone and the location. Is it more clear to you, Gayatri, and everyone else?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. So it was a good question. In case if you also have such question, you can definitely go ahead and ask such question. So can we move further? You can unmute and say yes if
Yes.
you are ready
Yes.
to.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. So let's understand and work towards the detail of the first meeting, first ceremony, and that ceremony is called as what? Everyone, what it is
Sprint
called? First
planning.
ceremony.
Sprint planning.
Sprint planning,
Sprint
Sprint
planning.
planning.
absolutely. So we will learn about it. So I will take, in fact, I will request Rahul sir to take this and go ahead and share with us the details about it. Rahul sir,
Yes.
over to you. You can.
Yes.
I'll quickly take water
Yeah.
break. Yeah.
Sure. So the slide says that it is a sprint planning, definition of which is a sprint planning is an event in the Scrum framework where the team determines the product backlog items they will work on during that sprint and discusses their initial plan for completing those product backlog items. Teams may find it helpful to establish a sprint goal and use that as the basis by which they determine which product backlog items they work on during that sprint. The purpose of the sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that work will be achieved. Sprint planning is done in collaboration with the whole Scrum team. The what is the product owner describes the objectives or the goals of the sprint and what backlog items contribute to that goal. So that is what the sprint planning is. Over to you, Gaurav sir. Gaurav sir, are you there? Okay, I think
I think he said he told us that his
okay.
thing crashed.
Yeah, so that's why I'm taking out because he can't see the screen and he's taking
So
out.
he's gone for a water break.
Yeah, that's fine. So let's talk about sprint planning. So what does sprint planning requires? I mean, why the sprint planning is there? Because we want to know what we are going to do in the sprint, and what things we're going to work on the sprint, and why things has to be done in the sprint, and what the next backlog item or the next feature will be taken up in the next sprint. So these kind of things will happen in sprint planning. So usually the product backlog items will be discussed or will be decided by the product owner, who says that, okay, let's say this product, this item, this feature needs to be built first than the other feature. So that is what he decides, the product owner will decide. And once that feature or once that item, the backlog item is decided, that backlog items will be, the work of that backlog item will be distributed among the development team and the testing team. So they will decide on who will do what, and by what date, and by what time it will be done. And so this kind of discussion will happen, and what items will be there to be discussed at the end of the sprint. So that kind of things will happen in the sprint planning meeting. So this is what sprint planning is. So it's the initial stage of the sprint. So we can have the quick overview of what is going to happen in the sprint, and then everybody will know what they are supposed to do.
Yeah, Rahul sir, I'm back. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was a little away. Yeah,
That's
was
fine.
taking my water break.
That's
So, okay, so let me quickly come back to you, Sonali. And before I could answer Sonali, then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to answer. Uma had a wonderful question already. Okay, and the question was what? The question was what? I will read that. So, Gaurav, I'm trying to be a BA, and I don't necessarily need to know this Scrum and Agile stuff. Is that right? So, I would say today, no. Why we are bringing Scrum, BA, and Agile together? Understand the biggest purpose behind that. So I'll be very quick and very easy for lay out the purpose behind it. So purpose behind this combo track is that today, when project management is also shifting towards the agility, that's the very reason uh, that's the very reason you need to understand for agile becoming the foundation. Okay, agile is foundation of any project, then business analysis is the pillar of those foundation, and together you are building a one thing that we call it as a project. For any project, agile is the foundation and business analysis is the pillar of that. So until unless you are not aware on what foundation you are standing in business analysis, then it won't be really helpful for you to run alone as a business analyst without a knowledge of agile and scrum. So eventually you will try to realize later, oh, as a business analyst, how wonderful it would have been if I would have already knew about if I already have known about agile and scrum. So that realization may come later, so you can thank to this track that already you are being made aware of this entire approach of agile methodology. So did I answer your question again, Uma? Yeah, wonderful. I got your answer as a thanks. So yes. Okay. So yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you said something. Yeah, you're welcome. So now let me quickly talk about what Rahul sir said about sprint planning. So the planning meeting that always happen before the sprint starts, the real work approaches. So before real work approaches, we need to know on what we are going to work, right? Yes or yes? Say yes. Before before
Yes. Yes.
jumping onto the work, you need to know that what we are going to work. That's right. Yes, you were right that before that you need to know on what we need to work. So I will talk about always in front of you, there will be a bigger requirement. And to that bigger requirement, you cannot deliver immediately then and there, right? Can you deliver any bigger requirement then and there in a day? Is it possible?
No.
No. So what you will do with that bigger requirement? You will have to break it down into the smaller, achievable requirement. Feasible, achievable, sustainable, and more desirable. With me so far, say yes if you are able to hear and understand as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Superb.
sir.
So what will happen the moment you will break it down further? It becomes achievable, and in product backlog, you will choose few. Uh, what I can talk about. So you will choose WSJF. What did I say? WSJF. What is it? So remember this terminology, WSJF. Which terminology, everyone?
WSJF.
JF.
Yeah, it is weighted shortest job first. Okay, it's weighted shortest job first will always be taken at the highest priority because that could be the demand from your customer. Okay, because
Can you
your
repeat that
customer
initially again, please? Sorry.
yeah, Devi, what happened, Soma?
I'm
You said
sorry.
something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that initial?
Okay, I said WSJF in the past any track, in the past any of the class, I never used this terminology, and that's the reason I understand you stopped me. So SW, S for super, and J for job, and F for first. Okay, WSJF, weighted shortest job first. Could you get it?
Yeah, now I got it.
So
Thanks.
okay, you're welcome. So yeah, so this will be backlog items, always defined by whom? Product owner. Backlog items are defined by whom, everyone? The interview question.
Product
Product, product owner.
Absolutely, you are right. Okay, and if they define it already, and how will they define in very detail? Not at all. As first product owner will define in a one line, and there is another ceremony, an unofficial, unset ceremony. You won't find it in the Scrum guide that it has been announced as a official ceremony, to which we call it as a Scrum guide. Okay, the ceremony name is uh, sprint grooming or backlog refinement ceremony. What we call it as, everyone?
Backlog refining ceremony.
Yeah, that's right. So that's unofficial, but here, with the help of again business analysts, we define every single backlog item. However, if the backlog items are defined and are taken into the sprint planning meeting already, so the purpose behind this sprint planning meeting is that every single person come into the similar understanding to know that what they are going to deliver as a team. However, the one individual backlog will be assigned to individual team, and together we agree that what goal of sprint we are going to achieve. Is it clear? Are you able to
Sir, can
understand?
you
We are going
repeat?
to understand.
Yes.
Okay. So what I said, see, what will happen in this meeting, we have to pick some of the important items on which you are going to work. You cannot work on all the item, right? So product
Right.
backlog are multiple pieces of the larger requirement. You pick few of them. Maybe if there are 10 in the stack, you can pick around 2 or 3 or 4, not more than that. So these are well defined already, but again will be conveyed to the entire team so that everyone understand all the backlog very, very well and know that what they have to deliver. Okay, are you able to understand so far?
Yes.
Okay. So now when you understand that who means what exactly we need to deliver, later what happens, as I said, it's a self-organizing team. You need to demonstrate the courage, and you need to demonstrate whether are you ready to take the ownership of one backlog item and say, hey, product owner, I'm ready to take this piece from the table and I want to develop it. One tester will say, hey, I'm very much excited to test it. And one senior or business analyst is there, or junior business or associate business analyst is there, and will say, I'm always there to define it and analyze it and design it and make sure that anyone who is getting any difficulty to understand it, I'm always there to pass this A&D work. A&D means analysis and design work, and together the entire team is taking responsibility, and thereby we are defining the goal of the sprint, and we are understanding at the end of the sprint what we are going to deliver. And that's the reason we call it that a definition or identification of sprint goal in the sprint planning meeting. Make some sense to you, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Say yes,
Yes.
if you're
Yes,
able
sir.
to understand it. Okay,
Right.
awesome. So having said so, in this slide, we can move to another slide. And yes, Rahul, so you can bring the another slide, and quickly I'll sip my water. Yeah. Yes, Rahul, so we can go ahead to the next.
Yes. So the next slide is why fixed length time box sprint, where you can see 4 sprint items in a diagram, and the bullet point says to balance between the need to release rapidly. Second is allowing enough time to complete a useful amount of work in each sprint. And lastly, once an appropriate length is found, it typically stays the same. Okay, over to you, Gaurav sir.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, what do you see here? Multiple sprint. Can you see 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah. All you can see on the screen, right?
Yes, yes.
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 Because I can see it. Of course, you all can see. So there are multiple sprints. It means that there are 4 sprints. Okay. So it might have been decided, but who decides that how long the sprint is going to be? Who decides that?
Product owner.
Product owner.
Exactly, you are right. So before the start of sprint or any project, is going to be product owner who is going to decide what is going to be the length of the sprint, and if once decided is going to be always the same. Okay, so because you are delivering into the smaller chunks, smaller pieces of this bigger software, that's the reason these sprints are called as iteration, because you are iterating the same activity in every single meeting, in every single sprint, and that's the reason it is called as a iteration. And we have 4 iteration of this sprint. With me, it is also called as what?
Iteration.
This sprint
Iteration.
iteration. So you will get to hear more of this word towards the iteration. Rahul sir, we can go to the next slide. So any question around this iteration about the fixed length? Any question? If not, we can move to.
Sir, I have.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Please go ahead, Anna.
We can say sprint, another word is called iterations, or it is specific. How should
Right now at the Scrum end, I don't encourage you to call it as a iteration. Call it as a sprint only. But yeah,
Okay.
definitely you call it as iteration when you become there are multiple teams working on the multiple modules. Okay, you remember I was talking about SAFe just a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you become the part of SAFe organization, that is the time you will start calling this iteration instead of sprint, because there will be the multiple products on and multiple team working on that. And there you won't find the sprint planning meeting, but there will be IP planning meeting, and IP planning meeting will be called as a iteration program planning meeting.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. So we can go to the next. Yeah. Any other question?
Also, Sonali had a question. Sonali, can you ask your question now?
Yeah, it got resolved now, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move to the next slide. Okay. So here's the next slide. It says who is involved in sprint planning. The bullet points are sprint planning typically involves the entire team. A product owner identifies the candidate product backlog items and their relative priorities, as well as proposes a sprint goal. The team members determine how many of the product backlog items they forecast they will be able to complete and determine how they will deliver those product backlog items. A Scrum Master or coach typically facilitates sprint planning in order to ensure that the discussion is effective and that there is agreement to the sprint goal and that the appropriate product backlog items are included in the sprint backlog. That's it.
Yeah. So understand, for every single person, there is, it's given that who does what and why everyone is involved into it. So as I said earlier, it's a product owner who defines the product backlog and identifies the candidate product backlog. It means that product backlog is also called as candidate. With me so far? Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Say yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
product backlog is, so what happens? So last time you have explored Jira, you have explored Azure DevOps, or you have explored, Trello. So what exactly happens? There you will see that you are able to create either epic, you are able to create user stories, or you are able to create a defect or bug. Did you also see that? Whoever have explored the tool?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what happens? You initially, when write them down, so you initially write a one-liner referring to what you are creating, either epic or user story or bug. So initially one-liner you create. So one-liner once you create, and you had also talked in your summary, guys, that you will be able to see the dashboard, sprint dashboard or Kanban dashboard, for which we have already talked about. So in that dashboard, the multiple items that you had created, user story, bugs, or epics, that will appear on the all the dashboard. But because they are multiple such things, such items, they won't be visible, and that's the reason their preview will be visible. With me so far? Able to understand? Yeah. Say yes. Still able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So what will happen? That's the very reason they appear and look like smaller ticket size. Yeah. Making some sense to you? These preview are also visible like a ticket. So that's the reason every single thing on this project management tool is called as ticket. Are you getting me? So tomorrow, if you will get to hear from your product owner and you yourself are given the right to talk about these items effortlessly and flawlessly, talking and referring to as these are either candidates or these are called as tickets. So in the project management tool, you are managing what? At the end, either candidates or backlog candidates or ticket. So is it clear why we are calling it to ticket and what are tickets in the project management system?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
thank you so much. Yeah, I would appreciate all the time if you are ready and alert and can unmute and answer me. So yeah, so here I talked about the tickets and product backlog candidates. And yeah, so what exactly happens? So product owner knows one thing, that what customer wants, and immediately. So he knows priority of customer. What he knows, everyone?
Priority of
Priorities.
Priority of the
That's right.
customers.
Exactly. So he will be able to easily prioritize some backlog item in the sprint planning meeting. Yes or no? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So in the sprint planning meeting, he will pull few of the tickets and he will be easily prioritize that. And the moment he will prioritize that, who will be there? As team will be there who will determine whether they can work on this, how long they will take to complete the work, and how they will deliver this product easily, this backlog items easily, to the customer. Okay, so it's team they will determine. How they will determine? Of course, they will discuss about each and every single prioritize requirement. So prioritize is the word. How do we prioritize the things? By becoming the part of backlog grooming session, or knowing what is WSJF. And what is WSJF, everyone?
Weighted
Waiting
Shortest job first.
Absolutely right. You know it already. Thank you so much for telling me this. And is going to be Scrum Master, becoming the part of sprint planning meeting. Okay. He will make sure
Sir,
that yes. Go
sorry,
ahead.
sir, I had a little glitch there. So each
Mhm.
prioritized backlog item is the ticket, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. Everything what you see in the project management system, which will have one ID number, okay, to which we call it as identification, is will be referred as a ticket. Everything what you will see, that is the ticket. Ticket number 123, ticket number 453. Anyone from the last batch, like Soma is the from the last batch, but I don't know whether he participated in the project or not, where people were given to participate in one of the project where they will be really working in the Jira, assigning some tasks to each other, and they were creating some tickets, and those tickets had the numbers. Okay, so yes, you are absolutely right. I believe Aruna, you asked this question.
yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, so everything will be referred as a candidate or ticket. So did I
Okay.
answer your question? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome. So Scrum Master is going to be the coach for the every single ceremony and for the team as well. So as I said earlier, his job is to remove all the impediment. When you are talking about Scrum Master being as a coach, okay, bless you. So Scrum Master as a coach, what is going to happen is that he is the person who will make sure that he is flow accelerator as well. So the one who removes the impediment is the person indirectly brings the acceleration and the flow at the work. Agree with me? Yes?
Yes.
Or yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. So because if you don't have any background noise, then you can keep yourself unmuted. That won't be any problem to me. And the moment you sense any background noise, that time you can go, all can go on mute then. So cool. So Scrum Master will make sure everyone's job goes easy and effective, and every single thing what is being discussed, in the safe, with the help of Agile, I'm also referring to safe, we have brought one very important thing to which we call it as AI. What do we call it as, everyone?
AI.
AR.
Yeah.
AI.
AI.
AI is AI is
Artificial
artificial.
intelligence.
That's absolutely right, bang on. So few tools will be able to hear the discussion and conversation, right? And when they will listen, when they are switched on, they have the auto job to record every single thing. Say for example, if someone of you have opened can you all see the caption option can be opened? Can you all see that on the Zoom? Caption option can be seen.
Yes.
CC option.
Yes.
Yeah. And the moment you will switch it on, it will start taking notes of every single thing what I am speaking to, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
at the end of the session, if you are recording this, it will also save those conversation. Okay, and some of the AI tools are so much intelligent, they identifies your name and they say that this person spoke this statement and this person conversed with this statement. So they will record every single thing with the noted pointed item, and at the end, summarizing those conversation, they will bring out what? They will bring out the action item assigned to every single person. So these tools are so much intelligent. Even Scrum Master will make sure if inclusion of such available tools are there, it will be included so that at the end, minutes of meeting will be visible and every action item will be clear to every single person. So that's the reason in Safe AI has been included. But today, when we are talking and technology has advanced, as a Scrum Master, future Scrum Master, you can start thinking of involving the AI tools as well in every single ceremony. With me so far, everyone, and clear what I said?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how your entire team is getting involved into this. Having said so, let's move further and get to know more in detail about sprint planning. So Rahul sir, we can move next. Yeah. So I think we have explained. Did we explain this earlier? No? Okay.
I think we did.
Yes, we did.
Sir, we did.
Yeah, we did. We
Okay.
did.
You did
It
this.
looks
Yeah.
familiar.
So okay, this is familiar. Let's move to the next. Yeah. So this is something where does sprint planning take place? So yeah. So I can summarize this. So yeah, if anyone wants to read the bullet point one, please come forward and read it.
A good
Anyone?
Implementation for sprint planning is team room so that you have access to all information about your product backlog and you can reference and update any information radiators you may use.
Yeah. Also read the second one, please.
If your team is distributed, sprint planning represents a good opportunity to gather everyone together so that your planning discussions can be more effective and to reinforce the person-to-person connections of the team.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for reading this out. So yeah, so a sprint planning meeting is just an opportunity, you can consider it as, okay, where entire discussion will happen and where it take place. So who will decide the place, by the way, for sprint planning meeting?
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master.
Absolutely, bang on. So yeah, you know it know it very well. So it's gonna be Scrum Master is going to decide the room or web conferencing tool for sprint planning meeting. And as I said, room, it means that it is going to be a physical room that you can see one person in the picture explaining about all the tickets. Can you see on the whiteboard there are various tickets?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir.
So
Yes.
these tickets, yeah, thank you. So these tickets are being explained, and there are other team members who are listening to the conversation. And so these all arrangement, laptop, chair, table, whiteboard, tickets, marker, every single item you can think of, a scrum master should be knowing that it is available there. He should be responsible and make sure that, just give me a second, guys. I was sipping some water. So yeah, so what I was explaining to was this, that yeah, tool or room will be finalized by Scrum Master. He will make sure that everyone is able to access that at the state time, and they come together, they utilize it together, and there will be only fixed room where these things will happen. And why do you think there should be the fixed room? Or fixed web conferencing tool, or fixed time duration for that? Why do you think?
So that everybody can be there.
Everybody can be there. And why about the fixed room? It can vary at any moment, at any point of time.
No, it has to be
Why I'm telling
pre-decided.
so. Sorry, come again. I could not hear you.
It has to be pre-decided so that everybody can attend.
Yeah. So why the room should be pre-decided? Why it cannot alter at the end?
So it reduces the complexity.
Okay.
To have all
Creating
the
a
tools ready.
environment.
Because all the information and print backlog and all that information is there, so it has to be set up before.
For
Okay, so
the setting up the environment.
Okay, all answers are correct, but the ultimate answer is this: that everything is leading towards the ultimate answer. But at the end, think no one should be disturbed, nothing should be disturbed. Okay, because it may happen that if it is not booked already and not decided, pre-decided, anyone can come and claim that, hey, I had booked. So then you will start wondering that entire plan you will have to shift to another room. Okay, so always make sure as a future Scrum Master, it has been pre-booked, pre-decided, and preoccupied by you, made by you. Is it clear? So let's not make it, because sprint planning is something very serious you are going to do, right? So you cannot make sure that you cannot do this like at the end moment you can leave that, ignoring that you have not booked the meeting room. Yes. Because if you have not booked, say for example, meeting is there at 11:30 a.m. in the morning, and someone may book it at 11:25 as well, and can come and claim at 11:30 when your meeting is about to start. Everyone has gathered there. With me so far? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
So this is smaller thing, but a bigger impact, with bigger impact. So be very much careful about it. So we can go to the next slide now. Any question around this about where the sprint planning takes place?
No.
No, sir.
Okay, cool. Let's move to the next slide. Yeah. So, yeah, I want someone to read the first one on the screen, first column. Anyone?
Master.
Yeah.
Video conference, screen share and or polygon access, information setup and shared. Schedule meeting space, prepare and publish agenda, check calendars for company holidays, training, events, travel and employee time off. For tactile artifacts, replenish supplies of markers, post-its, 3x5 cards, pens, pins, etc.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So this is, in a nutshell, you can take it as a checklist as a future Scrum Master, that once you are setting up any meeting, these all things you are taking care of, these all things are there in the place. And yeah, that makes the sprint planning or any ceremony going very, very smoother. And yeah, you are able to accelerate it up from there. And yeah, that's very, very true that you need to be very much vigilant about the upcoming holidays and upcoming leaves or upcoming any certain plans. Okay, upcoming any certain plans, leaves and everything should be there, so that you can plan it in a better manner, that no other person who can be the responsible contributor in a sprint planning meeting is going to get missed. Okay, so that's the very reason you need to be very much vigilant and careful about everyone else's planned holidays or something, or any upcoming holiday is coming. Is it clear about Scrum Master why he does and he needs to do all this as a part of checklist, especially included when it comes to holidays as well? Yes.
Yes,
With
sir.
me so far, everyone? Yeah.
Yes.
So let's
Can I
move
last?
and
Excuse me, sir. The fifth one, please, for tactile artifacts and replenish meaning of, please.
Okay, so let me, Rahul sir, can you just take it a little up so that I can even read it, because at the bottom I cannot read that. For tactical artifacts, yeah, now I can. I just maximize it. For tactile artifacts, replenish suppliers of marker posted 3x5 cards, pens, etc. So what happens in sprint planning meeting? You are working on the tickets, okay, and when it is the physical room and physical board, that is the time where you need to make sure that you are bringing more clarity. When we are talking about artifacts means in sprint planning meeting, we are working on the product backlog, right?
Yeah.
So product backlog now is going to take a shape of user story, okay, because you are taking more clarity onto that and your user stories, and you will have more diagrams. You will have more discussion and recording of the discussion, which might be related to or between customer and business analyst, customer and product owner. Every single things will come over here, and those are becoming the part of artifacts. Those will be referred as artifacts, and artifacts are also which is making things move easily. Those are pens, papers, pins to fix the sticky notes or cards into your board. So these are just the resources that you need to have, and make sure as a scrum master you are making all the resources available, be it user story, be it posted your sticky notes and cards again to capture some notes. Pens and papers should be there, and pin to fix them in the board. So every single thing, even marker is required to discuss or to draw something. Is it clear? So these are helping to even tiniest things, but making things that you should not move away and move away from the agenda. Even agenda should be made sure that it is there in the place and has been cleared by the product owner and have been distributed amongst the team. Clear? Made sense? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for that.
So, yeah, welcome. So let's understand about the checklist of product owner. I want someone who has not read it. Read the 2 bullet points of the product owner. Anyone?
Ensure backlog item candidates are ready according to the team's definition or ready, if a definition of ready exists for the team. Make sure the skills and capabilities of team members are known and are generally aligned with the needs of the backlog item candidates for the sprint.
Yeah, that's right. So when we are talking about product owner will make sure that we are talking about backlog item. Backlog items are the candidates. Again, what has to be delivered first? The same thing, WSJF, weighted shortest the job first. He will make sure is coming on the board for the discussion. He will make sure that whatever the technology he has decided that team is going to use, so every person is well versed with those technology. He will identify that how come the cross functional team will become there, part of the team, all the skills which are necessary for achieving the sprint goal. He will make sure everyone has become the part of that bigger team, or sorry, the smaller team, because product owner will be heading that small team. So and the team size, from 3 to 9, and that's the reason in the previous slide you saw there was a room where 3 people were sitting, the minimum 3 people, as a sprint plan, as a team size. That was referring to the team size. So this is product owner who sets the goal and the priority, and definition of ready is very important, because when we are talking about definition of ready, because every user story which has turned now the shape of the user story from product backlog, is having the definition of ready, where we are going to learn that how to write this definition of ready, to which we call it as user stories. What we call it as, everyone?
User story.
Yeah,
User story.
that's right. So here you will know that what exactly and how exactly user stories are written. So that's the reason it is mentioning over here. The definition of ready exists for every backlog candidate, and is known to every single team member. Okay, and those who can work on that, such skills are available, and this is the responsibility of product owner. Having said so, let's talk about development team, the remaining team, what they need to make sure. So I want someone to read about development team, the last column, please. Anyone? Anyone who has not read it?
Update.
Definition. Development team. Update the team's definition of done as needed and make sure it is easy to reference during the meeting.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So just now we were talking about definition of ready, and here we are talking about definition of done. It means it is sure that to start any work, we need to have definition of ready at first place. But development team, who is going to make sure things are moving towards the done, so they should have the definition of done in the place, so that they can align it with those goals. They can align it with those target. They can align it with those they can align us to those achievements. So in a nutshell, that a team's responsibility, that they will keep on moving those tasks, because ultimately when user story will come, so nothing is theory on the board, nothing is theory on the sprint board, nothing is theory on the Kanban board. So then what are those? If nothing is theory, then what they have to be?
The actual project.
Yeah, so actual project is also theory, right?
Epic?
So what? Epic, that's okay. Epic is okay, you can call it as term, but ultimately, okay, let me give you the answer otherwise, but let's others try. So if it should not be theory, then what it should be at the board, what it should be visible as?
Tickets?
Tickets.
Yeah,
should
so
be done.
tickets will represent. Okay, and what are done? What things are done? What you can do? What things you can do?
Is it action?
Action, that's absolutely right. So nothing is theory, everything is representing to action. So yes, you all are right. So on the board, everything has to be action. So when we are talking about user story, make sure that as actionable item associated is assigned to every single person, because at the end they are not going to perform a theory, they are going to perform an action, and only an action can either be in to do or in progress, or can be in done. With me so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So it's development team responsibility to continue to move those action in the right columns or in the right place, uh, if they know what is their definition of done. So these are the checklist. As a team member, as a product owner or a scrum master, you need to make sure that you are aware of. We can move to the next slide. Do we have another slide, Ramsar? Yeah. So here you see the Scrum team. They are into action. So initially, what they are doing. So any team, anything, it will have three items: input, output, and the process. Okay. In the process of the sprint planning, you know that how things will be done, you know what you are going to do, but the input will be the product backlog item, input will be people's availability, input will be the status of the task, Input will be how many hours are remaining. Input will be the velocity and capacity. What is velocity and capacity? So for that, I have a separate 20 minutes of video that I'm going to share in your, group, on a WhatsApp group. Just remind me at the end. At the end means in the morning, your morning, you will remind me velocity and capacity, and I'll share that video with you in case I could not share that. So velocity and capacity, where you define the working hour, in fact, people's availability, and how long they are available to contribute in the project. There means one task will take how much time. These all things you will define. So these becomes the input, and then in the process, when you are talking about sprint planning meeting, by the way, are you learning something, everyone? Are you able to learn, grasp, and relate?
Yes, sir.
Say yes if you are. Okay. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Great to know about it. Thank you. So in sprint planning meeting, you will be very much clear who is there and for what reason they are there, what they are going to do, and how they are going to do these all things, So at the end, you are ready with two items. One, you are ready with sprint backlog identified, because once the backlog items, which are, just give me a second, guys. Are you still able to hear me, everyone?
Yes,
Hello?
sir, we can
Hello?
hear you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because I'm connected with the phone and someone is calling, I thought I'm through phone I got lost the connect with you. Okay, anyways. So yeah, sprint planning meeting, you everything before it becomes the part of sprint goal, they are the part of product backlog. Okay, and you start with, from product backlog, you extract and bring and discuss in the sprint planning meeting, and you make it as a part of goal, and you are ready to achieve it before you start working on them, and you are very much clear with sprint goal. And these backlog item, which had been the part of sprint backlog and now had been discussed in the sprint planning, they are called as sprint backlog. What they are called as, everyone?
Sprint
Sprint
backlog.
backlog.
Yeah.
Sprint backlog.
Great. So you are clear with the difference between product backlog and sprint backlog. The backlogs which are before discussing into sprint planning meeting, they are always called as they are always called as product backlog. And the moment they are carried inside the sprint planning meeting and declared as the achievable goals, those are called as sprint backlog. So this is a quick representation in a pictorial form. And having said so, let's move to the next slide if we can. Rahul, so can we? Okay, so this is very important. That is, how is sprint planning is structured, because you need to know the scope and all those things. So I want to invite someone to read this first paragraph for me. Anyone who can read it?
Sprint planning is typically split into two parts. Part 1, scope. The team selects which items from a prioritized list of ready backlog items, usually expressed as user stories. They forecast they will be able to complete during the spring. Here's a simple sample agenda for this first part of sprint planning.
You can go ahead further.
What is the goal for the sprint? Use this as a decision filter to determine which product backlog items to include in the sprint. What product backlog items are ready and contribute towards the sprint goal?
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So yeah, it is very important that you know scope first. What do we mean by scope? Who can tell that? Anyone? What do you mean by scope?
How much? Yeah, scope means like how much we can achieve our goal, about our goal.
Okay, and what else?
The importance, or
Scope is basically your role in the team.
Okay. Yeah, try.
Product backlog items.
Okay, product backlog item, that's anyways going to be. But what else? What
How
you
it
can
can be
achieve that?
achieved? How it can
How
be
you
achieved?
can. Okay, okay. Think that when you are going to
How is
define a
it going
scope
to
of.
have an impact?
Okay, okay. So what else you can think of when we are talking about scope? Either it is going to be you are going to develop something with the two clarity. Okay, two clarity means what you have to develop or what you can
What are
develop
the
something.
requirements? What are the requirements? Yeah. What are the requirements?
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you some question like this. When I say you have one requirement comes, you have to make sure that you always walk towards north. What else it does mean?
Repeat
When
it,
I
sir.
say, I said I'm giving you one action item to do, and the action item says that you only need to walk towards the towards in a north direction. What does it mean?
Do not work to
Exactly.
the condition.
Direction. But how much
Yeah,
to
yeah.
go
I
in the north direction? Like how much to go?
how much to
Possibility.
go? Yeah, yeah. But someone was also telling something else. You are also telling that not to do what?
Not to go
Not to go
towards south.
south.
Not to go towards the south, not to go to the east, west, or south. Yeah, east, west, or south, east, west, or south, and only walk towards the north. It means that your scope was not just to
Define.
walk towards the north. Means scope means not just you are going to define what is the inclusion, but also you are going to define what is the exclusion. It means that you are also going to define the assumption, as someone said, that how long you are going to walk. Okay, so scope covers every single thing where you are going to talk about what is included, what is you are not going to include, and what you are assuming. Is it clear, everyone? Say yes
Yes.
if it is
Yes,
clear.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So here the simple sample agenda would be possibility. That's also there, but possibility you are not going to develop. Rachna, okay, possibility that you are not going to develop, but definitely that possibility has to indicate towards assumption. So yeah, possibility and assumption can be the same related word, you can say. Okay, so when you are writing possibility, always mention in the bracket then assumption if you are thinking that you are going to develop any such requirement. Then so yeah, so team actually in the scope they will be talking about the prioritized item, and they will also say why it is prioritized, user story, and um, the agenda around it. They will talk about that uh, this is going to be the decision filter, that exactly what functionality at the end of this meeting or end of this sprint should be active. Say for example, today we are going to talk about fund transfer in a bank. Okay, so at the end the fund transfer should be doable by the users in the bank. Yes or yes? Because we are just talking about it, it means the actionable item will be the funds transfer. With me so far? Say yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So yeah, this is the all about the scope. I just simplified and expanded and presented in front of you. Let's take the another part too as well. So what is the another part? And so far, is it sounding more interesting to you? Are you
Yes, sir.
finding it interesting,
Yes,
everyone? Yeah.
Yes,
Very
sir.
much.
Awesome, awesome. Super. Rahul sir, we can go to the next slide. Yeah. So one was the scope, then another comes what?
Plan.
Planning. Hold on a second. Actually, I haven't, I skipped one. So this is the one.
Okay, no. Okay, no problem. So before I won't ask anyone to read this, I'll quickly explain this. Okay. So in the scope, you get to know everyone's velocity and capacity, means that you will also discuss who is able to run the show. Run the show means what? The user story, who can complete, if those person are available, in case none of the extra meetings are planned or something, sorry, no vacations are extra planned or something. And you know everyone's availability, in case you are trying to plan something, or going to have any vacation or holidays, it should be planned well in advance and communicated well in advance. And whatever item you are going to include is known to everyone, and it is aligning with the team capacity. It means that team is able to complete that, and how confident you are that and the entire team feels that at the end you are going to achieve it. So all things are part of the sprint planning meeting, where you know everyone's availability, where you know everyone's adaptability, where you know everyone's performability, where you will know everyone's capacity to deliver the sprint backlog at the end of the sprint itself. Okay, so now we can move to the plan. Any question around it, whatever I said so far?
No, sir.
Okay, so thank you. So we'll move to plan, and I want someone to read this plan for me, all both the bullet points, please.
How is
The team discusses in more. The team discusses in
Go ahead.
more detail how they will deliver the selected product backlog items. This may, but does not have to include identifying tasks for the product backlog items, whether there are many dependencies between the items, and signing up for the initial product backlog items that each team member works on.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So yes, so this discussion has to be part of this, as a part of plan when we are talking about sprint planning meeting. So you know more in detail that how you are going to deliver certain backlog. Okay, so initially it will be product backlog item, and also referred as PBI. What it is referred as, everyone?
PBI.
Yeah, PBIs. And in case, and this could be your interview question, what do you mean by PBI? Okay, so when the question will be asked as PBI, so you should be very much clear. This PBI is actually product backlog item. This is the broken down requirement of the larger requirement, broken down requirement from the customer. So this is PBI defined by product owner. Okay, so again, this backlog item, which we are talking and making them sprint backlog, it will include everything. Okay, it will eventually turn and take the shape of user story, and shape means that it will be linked with the epic. So when we are talking about product backlog item, it means that it's a goal. It's a goal of a functionality. Say for example, bank comes, it has a larger goal to you as a vendor, that I want banking system available for all my customers. Okay, so banking system available, this is one larger goal with me so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But it will have also a sub goal, that who is going to define that? Product owner with the communication with client. He will say, okay, do you mean to say that you want to attract new customer? Say yes. So adding new customer will be one epic. Oh, one epic means goal. Epic means what, everyone?
Goal.
Goal. And this goal or epic, you will be able to add into your project management system as a ticket. Okay. And so he said that, okay, you want to add customer. What else you want? So you want them to open the bank account with you. Means what kind of bank account? So you say opening account will be one thing. So inside opening account, what all types of account he can open?
Savings, current.
Fixed deposit and all and all and all and all, right? So these kind of bank account the customer can open. So opening account can be the another epic. Okay. So you are not getting into details of it, but you are defining the sub goals of the bigger goal, right? Then it could be the loan procedure, then it could be the credit card, then it could be the insurance, then it could be the fund transfer, then it could be view balance of every single thing can come later, then it could be the statement view and all. So these all things are there, and these are the bigger not bigger, the sub goal of the bigger goal. And then further it will be broken down into the user stories, and user stories itself can be a project. Okay, say for example, if I'm taking loan disbursement in one of the project of a bank, but what all can be the loan disbursement? It can be the personal loan, it can be the vehicle loan, it can be the home loan, and it can be business loan, it can be the various loan, right? So if personal loan is user story in itself is a big, then you will find that inside it there could be the multiple sections. Say for example, first you need to inquire for the loan, or you need to receive the request of the loan, right? So these are the two different user story of a bigger user story. So further this user story is broken down into two smaller user story. I hope you are able to visualize it, and broken down means that it will be linked with two new user stories. With me so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So in Jira or Azure DevOps or Trello, if you have not seen, there will be always a link button where you can link one ticket to another ticket. Okay. So you will make sure that everything which comes at the end is boiling towards a task. As I said earlier, that things tickets does not have to be theory, tickets have to be tasks, in a way that every individual can be assigned with a task. Okay. And if even if any dependency upon any item will be there, so that will be assigned to one task, will be assigned to another person. Okay. So even though dependency is there, you see that it has to be developed interdependently. Okay. One person is and when dependency is there, it will be further integrated and it will be solved. So when I'm talking about integration and integration and all, I will be explaining you more in detail using whiteboard tomorrow, that how things will once integrated, for what reason it will be used. So you are very much clear upon the plan, how things will flow and lead you towards achieving the sprint goal. Is it clear to everyone why to plan and why to define the scope, so that you are very much clear who is doing what and what they are at the end achieving what? So clear with this, how
Yes,
the
sir.
sprint planning is
Yes, sir.
structured with the help of scope and plan. I think I have spoken a lot, but still let me see if we have time. Do we have time further? What time we have touched? I think we have almost touched the time. So I think we can stop screen share over here. And yeah. So any question around anything, whatever I have discussed today?
Not now.
Okay, not now. So all right. So I appreciate that you all got it. So I will appreciate and will be more confident, because on your behalf I should be confident. Yes or no, whether you are understanding it or not, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
So, and how do you think I'll be more confident, whether you have understood it or not?
With our response in the WhatsApp group.
That's one thing, of course, that
Yes,
will be. But other thing is that I'll be more happy to see when you will summarize whatever you have learned and drop it. So guys, you know why I ask you? Because it's not this is a journey, what you are posting, like what Nitish or Amit or Sangeeta have posted. So this is just a starting of a journey of you becoming a pro. Okay, you should not be sounding today as you are today, but you should at the end sound like a pro. Means you are already a professional and you are ready to handle project, you are ready to deliver a project, and in this journey even gradually it will happen. Today you may not summarize everything the way these are, but you will gradually find that your grip is becoming firm and firm and firm the more you will practice. And I want you to present that in a summary, less than 90 seconds of video. Put it like Amit and like Nitish and like Sangeeta, and it should be like you should appear as the influencer of that topic tomorrow. People should come and understand from you. That level of authority I want each one of you to become, and that's the reason that starts with the smallest step of the request of you to submit your unsaid assignment, that is the summary, and that's the reason I ask you. Having said so, I just want to say looking forward to review each one of your comment in the WhatsApp group, that what do you feel like saying, how did you feel the temperature of learning today, and yeah, accordingly we will move and shuffle and shift the gear tomorrow in tomorrow's learning as well. Based on your feedback only it happens, and I personally review each one of them. Yeah, anyone wants to say something?
Amit has raised.
Yeah, Amit.
I want to
Yes.
say something.
Yeah,
About
please, please.
about those assignments that you tell us to do, right?
Yeah.
What I have realized is by doing those assignments, like from the first to the second to the third, I felt that I am gaining my own personal confidence in presenting that, right? So I think it's going to help in the longer run when we actually enter our first job or the market. That confidence is definitely going to be up where it needs to be, or better than what it is right now with these small 90-minute, 3-minute videos.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. And see, why did you realize this? Because you are doing that. Those who are not doing, they won't. Yeah, they won't realize it, because this is coming from your within, right? This is your own authentic space from where you are talking about.
The
Others
first one
cannot
I did,
realize.
the last one I did, there's a huge difference in the way I'm talking, the confidence that I have on the camera. There is no fear of facing people, right? I know there are going to be a lot of people listening to this. The first one that I did, I was scared. The last one that I did, I'm a bit more confident. As I keep on doing it, I'm sure I'll get more and more confident.
True.
Amit,
So
the way Amit has really done that, it has not only it has motivated to everyone. Absolutely, very good performance he did it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And do you know that this team is also called as self-motivated team? So yes, and this is true. When you go to a Scrum guide, you will see that cross-functional or self-organizing team is the self-motivated team, and from there everything is emerging, and that's a beautiful start. So I would encourage and appreciate and invite everyone to share their portion of understanding as well, and eventually at the end you have to just remain awake tight and hold the entire sprint in your hand. So that's the objective behind it. So thank you so much, everyone. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Until then, good night. Drop your comments in the WhatsApp group and would be happy to read them. So everyone can drop, and we can pause the recording, stop the recording, and